Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another pen here for an unboxing and review, and as you can see it says ASC, Armando Simone Club. So I think let's unbox this pen, but first I want to say that this pen is on loan from John at stjohnspens.com. So I'd like to thank John for the loan of this pen for review. This pen will be going back to John as well. So let's unbox and remove this lid, and you will see here there is another box inside, and removing that inner box you have ASC, Armando Simone Club and the Greek key band, sort of in a herringbone style approach there. Now this is a magnetic case or magnetic clasp that you can hear there. So I think let's remove the lid. And you'll see here, first off, no compromise, our pens are 100% handmade in Italy. And then you have the pen. If I just put the pen to one side, you also have this other statement from our Armando Simone Club there as well. You have a false tray, and you then have a booklet and also a card addressed to the customer and a warranty card as well. Now, the brochure goes on about Armando Simone Club and the history and manu and a bunch of filling mechanisms and nibs as well. So I'm not going to go through all of that in detail because I've done that on past reviews, but I think let's remove the pen from its bed and we'll take a look at this pen in a little bit more detail. So this is the Armando Simone Club Bologna, not the extra, which I have reviewed a lot and I have quite a lot of, but this is the Medio. So this is the smaller version, but you can see here, this material is really, really beautiful. So this is a beautiful, beautiful resin that you can see here, and you can see the Greek key band as well. And this is in the what Omos used to call the London Smoke. And I have to say, this is a beautiful, beautiful material and celluloid. Now, if I take a look at this pen here, you'll see the cap finial, and it does say ASC Armando Simone Club. It comes with the standard rocker clip that you have on most Italian pens, and it is quite functional as well. Now, in terms of the pen itself, it does taper down to the cap finial. It tapers out to about here, and then you have the cap band, and then I want to show you there's also a ring at the end of that cap as well. Now, there's a slight step down, not a lot. And then the body tapers down to this band here, which normally would then signify the piston turning knob or the blind cap. And this is blind end cap. The end cap there is just a conical end cap. It's non-functional. Now, if I remove the cap here, the first thing you will see is it's an lovely 14 karat gold ASC nib. And this is made by Bock. And you can see there that the profile of that feed, it is made of ebonite as well. Now there is a slight fluting out here at the base of that section. You have the threads, and then you have another couple of rings there. And then there it is a bit of a step up to the body. Now I said that this is a blind cap. Now this isn't one of the pneumatic filling mechanisms that you would see in the ASC Bologna Extra. But if you unscrew the body here from the section, you will see effectively what is I want to call this a captured converter. It's not a regular converter because it will not unscrew. It's glued into place. Very similar to what Leonardo were doing on some of theirs. It's I would say probably a higher capacity converter as well, but it's a converter. Some people may call it a piston. I personally would not, but it's really, I would say, a capture converter. So that's how you operate that to fill it, and you do have that ink window there. I do like the sort of engraving that's going on here. Almost, I want to say it's like a window effect that's going on there. And then you have that there. It's almost like a high-rise building. Almost like an Art Deco building, I would say. Now, that does add quite a bit of weight to it, I would say. The pen in the size of my hand is actually a fairly decent size, but it does add a bit of weight. Can I post this cap? I can do, and that will post. Would I want to? Personally, not, but I know some people do. But this cap is, the material here is just absolutely gorgeous. It's a really beautiful material. I have always wanted an OMAS in the London smoke. It's just a material that speaks to me more. I was never able to pick one up, not a true OMAS. So I'm really glad that John was able to loan me this pen out of his collection so I could take a look at it. Now, this is a really nice sized pen for me. I'd say it's probably bordering on being oversized. It's not as large as the ASC Bologna Extra. If I sort of grab one of those, and I will show you here. This is the ASC Bologna Extra in the Arco Brown versus the ASC Bologna Medio. So you can see that not only is it shorter, but it's also thinner as well. But I'll do another pen comparison a bit later, and then you'll see it against other pens as well. So I think with that, let's do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 139 millimeters in length. The length of the cap is about 63 millimeters in length. And if we take a look at the length of the body, and we'll do that, that's about 129 millimeters in length. 130, I would almost say. So this really is bordering on an oversized pen. And I have to say, it not only feels about the right length in my hand, but it also feels quite substantial, quite weighty as well. So I think with that, let's do a weight check and we'll see how that weight comes out. So the full weight of the pen, and this is uninked, we are looking at just under 46 grams in weight. So that, as I said, is quite a weighty pen. The weight of the cap is just over 11.5 grams in weight. And then the weight of the body, uninked, we are looking at just over 31.5, just under 32 grams in weight. So the weight of the body is actually quite substantial. It's not a heavy pen. I've got pens and tried pens that are around 60, 70, 80, 90 grams in weight. But it still isn't a light pen, I would say. But it does feel that it's weighty, that it's well made and substantial. And that's really what comes to mind when I pick up a weighty pen. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have an Armando Simonica Bologna Extra in the Wild, an Armando Simonica Bologna Extra in the Arco Brown or Bronze. We have an Armando Simonica Bologna Extra in the Arco Verde. We have a Montegrappa Extra 1930 Shiny Lines Dove. We have a Montegrappa Bartolomeo Ferracina in the Shiny Circles. We have an Armando Simonica Bologna Medio in the London Smoke. We have a Scribo Feel in the Verde Prato. We have a Sailor King of Pen Sakura Nagar. A Sailor King of Pen Pro Gear in the Lucky Charm. And we have a Tatcha Miyabi Winter's Breath. So, I think let's go and do a writing sample. So, this is the Armando Simone club, and it is the Bologna. It's not the extra, it's a Medio. And this is a medium, and it's a 14 cat gold nib. Now, the ink in here today is Diamine Earl Grey, which I think is a fitting ink for this pen. Now, in terms of line variation, I think we can see that this is about a Western medium. Now, because it's a 14 cat gold nib, I can push that nib a bit more. And I would say that that makes it a little bit more of a broad nib at that point. Now, you can also see there's no hard starts or skips as well. So this nib is very well tuned. In terms of the ink wetness, let's take a look at that. So you can see that this is quite a wet writing nib. Not quite a fire hose nib, but it's also not that far off it. So what do I like? What do I not like about this pen? Well, I like that, it's an Armando Simone Club. I do like Armando Simone Club pens. I also like that it's using an Omas celluloid, and this is the London Smoke. I like the shape. This is sort of the original size and shape of the original Omas Bologna, I would say. I like really the material, the size and the weight. There's really not a lot that I dislike about this pen. I know some people might say that they would want a pen for this kind of money with a piston, and this is essentially a captured converter. But for me, it's got a 14 karat gold nib. It writes exquisitely well. There really isn't anything that I dislike personally about this pen. So really, it's a matter of choice. What filling mechanisms do you like in a pen? And what do you expect in a pen that is maybe over 100, 200, 400 pounds, euros or dollars? That really is a decision down to you. So I'd like to thank John at stjohnspens.com for loaning me this pen for review. If you haven't checked out John already, check him out at stjohnspens.com or St John's Pens on Instagram. So again, I'd like to thank John for loaning me the pen for review. So that's my review of the Armando Simone Club Bologna Medio in the London Smoke. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.